Welcome to So You Think Your Car is Fast, where we dive into the world of high-end, fast cars and explore what it truly means to have a fast car. From the latest in supercar technology to the mechanics that make these machines go, we'll separate fact from fiction and uncover the misconceptions about speed and power that exist in the minds of the general public. Join us as we put the pedal to the metal and discover what it takes to have a car that truly lives up to the title of fast.
And we're live.
Finally.
Episode 12. Post Shift-S3ctor Hondo Carnage. We always say carnage.
It was carnage because we didn't go.
We did not go. Therefore, we did not break.
We pre-broke.
What have you boys been up to?
I've been scheming to go faster.
I tell you what, after looking at some of the results of Hondo, me not being there, I allowed some peasants to win manual class.
Peasants.
Ooh, strong words.
Strong word for a guy whose car doesn't run.
Doesn't run. Yeah, this let me see here. We have the winners in the manual class. A Viper won one day, Blake Weaver, with a 197 miles an hour.
Sounds like about my speed.
And then we have a Z06, Bobby Weege.
Yeah, he's been out a bunch of times before.
Yeah. He won the next day with a 194.
That's the fastest I've ever seen him go. So
Bobby, Blake, you're welcome.
Yeah, but you know what's weird is when I saw one of their live feeds or something on Instagram or somewhere where they had a tailwind.
What?
Like when they were setting up, and I thought these speeds do not seem tailwind speeds to me.
Tailwindish. Well, keep in mind, Hondo is kind of dusty, right?
It was. I was surprised how dusty it was. The videos, you can see him kicking it up.
Congratulations to David with Dallas Performance. Running what? 223? What was it?
226, I thought.
26?
Wasn't that what it was?
Yeah, that's indicative. But that's not his big power car, right? That was the Performante with the stock motor?
Yeah, they did a Performante. They do a bolt-on 100% reversible fuel kit for the Performante.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes some ridiculous number of horsepower, 1,200 or something on the stock motor with just a quick little bolt-on deal, and it was fast.
1,200. That doesn't seem like enough to go 226.
Or was it the STO? Actually, I think it's an STO.
That's awesome. What else? Okay, so Taylor, say you would have been there. What did the ethanol class?
Well, so day one, David was in the ethanol class.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's one of those technicality things, right? Like you can see in the last race in the finals, he raced and I don't even know what car it was, but it was a guy, Garland was his name. And David obviously led off because David only ran like a 151 in the finals. And Garland ran a 174.96 in the that was the winner for the ethanol class.
Oh, wow.
Which can usually be upwards of 220.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then,
of course.
And then day two, it was like there was just less showing in Hondo than I expected. And then day two, it was Rodriguez. Is that who won? They didn't even make it to a finals. He ran a 163
ethanol.
They only had one car, so in the semi, so he was the default winner.
I'm trying to look at it again. I keep forgetting.
I've got a Corrado with a ZL1. That's a Camaro. He got 5 points total. Not sure if he won one day or not. Because David
in the ethanol?
Yeah, this is the ethanol. This is this is in the points here.
I want to say that the guy who won at the 174, I want to say that was a Camaro.
Hugo Segura got 3 points.
Yeah, a Camaro won it the first day and a GT500 the second day.
Okay, so
even my car in its current state should have easily taken both those days.
Yeah. Oh. Dan, where would you have been? Manual?
I don't know. I might have jumped over to the ethanol class with the way that was going, so that Taylor could run all-wheel drive. I'd run ethanol. You'd run manual. But we're also this year is kind of different because they're doing the points system throughout all the races. So
there was an 1,800 horsepower GTR that got 5 points, so he must have won one day. And then Tim Hopkins in an orange R8, 1,700 horsepower got 11.
Yeah, and had I run the all-wheel drive class, I don't think I would have. I maybe would have taken second in one of those days, maybe, if my car was running, doing the things, which it's starting to do the things.
Yeah. So what do we take away from missing Hondo?
We should have gone, and it was good advice to go. I think the issue was that it was so close to Texas 2K that 1 week isn't enough time to re-rack and go to a second race for everybody that was there. And of course, we were all in our own, mire of issues trying to get our stuff ready. So, yeah, kind of disappointing.
Yeah, it is. It is. I didn't put the 2 and 2 together with Texas 2K because Hondo's always been a pretty well-attended event the last 2 years, but that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know what changed this year. I mean, Hondo's always close to TX2K, or at least there's always a Shift-S3ctor. They all kind of run together for me.
It wasn't 1 week because I remember last year it was like the beginning of April, like April 2nd to the 4th or something last year. So there's a couple weeks between 2K and Hondo.
Yeah, 2K and Texas Mile are always within a week of each other, it seems like. So you had the Texas Mile and Hondo at the same time. So that, who knows, may have killed it a little bit. I don't know.
I'm thinking Abilene's going to be the big Shift-S3ctor this year.
Well, think about it. It's the finale, right? So people are going to try to go out. If they're 8 points away from winning it, they might say, "Oh,
they might try
it out." Yeah.
And that's actually kind of cool because he's offering a cash prize for winning those classes. So you get X number of points for first, second, third place finish at every race and every day. So you get points on Saturday, you get points on Sunday. In Indy, you can get points on all 3 days, I guess.
Yeah, Indy's going to be a bonus because if you missed Hondo and do Indy, you kind of make up for half of what you missed.
Yeah. Well, I am officially getting my car ready for Streetcar Takeover in Dallas, utilizing our new race notification system.
Oh, we've renamed it?
Well, I just did.
Notification system.
Notifying vendors.
Oh, that system. I got you. Right.
I actually talked to Steve today about that.
Oh, yeah?
Because he texted me this morning. He goes, "Hey, have you heard anything about your car?" And I was like, "No, I'm being patient and I'm not bothering anyone." So he sent me the video of my car and I just called him back screaming like a little girl because I was excited about it. But I think that open dialogue is good.
So let's see the video. Cue the video. Bing.
How do I cue it? I don't
think Dan might have it.
I've got it. I was trying to decide which one to show first.
The one that's 24 seconds is today. And look, this isn't exciting to anybody else except for me. And to me, it's really exciting.
Well, we'll start with the older one, yeah?
So let's set this up, Taylor. What is this video here?
So we're doing the launch control one. Okay, so what everybody doesn't understand is the 99, and we've said it in past episodes, but the 9972 TCU or TCM or whatever you want to call it, it doesn't communicate like we thought it would. And so we've struggled getting it to work properly with the Cyvex. So I let Wayne take my car and drive it, just like drive it. He drives it to work and back. He went and picked his kid up at school, whatever, because we got to figure out how it all communicates. So at all these events, I don't have launch control. I don't even have launch control like the factory's launch control. All I do is slowly step on the gas. And that's been, the culprit of my 3.5 second 60-foot times at Shift-S3ctor. So Wayne sent me this little clip showing me some progress that he made.
Sport Plus Auto.
Woo!
Ric Flair there.
Yeah. So it looks like it's launching pretty well. So this is something you haven't seen before, huh?
No.
Wow.
I mean, I'm not a big launch guy because I'm always scared of breaking stuff, right? Okay. But I think even my factory launch control, I did it a total of 3 or 4 times, and that was it. But it's working, and it's not like that was full kill mode or anything. But we don't want that anyway. But we're launching now. So, all right, so hopefully that's an improvement.
You have another clip?
Yeah. Now this one is one issue that we've had is, if you're driving an automatic and you're cruising on the freeway and the freeway inclines a little bit, your transmission downshifts, right? Well, sure. Mine does not. Mine, it psychs you out. It basically, the gear shift selector drops a number, and then you get a transmission error, and it locks you in whatever gear you started at, which it's difficult to drive in just 7th gear.
Because as far as the car is concerned, it downshifted, but then it realizes that it didn't. So
and all you have to do to clear the error is you just cycle the key, but you can't start the car. I tried this already. You can't start the car without pushing on the brake. So I was cruising down the road, got a transmission error, shut the car off, and then realized I had to push my foot on the
While
brake.
you're
So I
rolling.
pushed my foot on the brake. I'm looking in the rearview mirror, panicking because some dude in a Nissan Altima is catching up to me really quickly.
Nissan.
So yeah, I just braced for the hit, but I got it started and going. But it's just it's a drivability thing. And here in this clip, we have it downshifts by itself.
All right. Cruise along in 6th gear here. Okay. Full auto. Here we go. We're making sure the road is front.
So it drops down into 2nd from 6th. That's good for when the pesky Chargers come up to me on the.
This is a breakthrough.
This is a giant breakthrough,
I'm
and
so happy
it's.
for you.
I mean, it's exciting for me. Okay, it's exciting. We still have some tweaking to do to it. I know Wayne's been hard at work with Ryan at Cyvex, and I really do appreciate it because this has given me some hope for making it a quote unquote street car also.
Well, this functionality didn't exist previously, right? So it like Cyvex didn't know how to control the 997.2 TCU.
To my knowledge, no, they didn't, because it
At
seems
least-
like all the 997.2s, the PDKs, have had wonky transmission situations with Cyvex.
Yeah, so Wayne put a CAN bus sniffer on it and was watching all of the messaging and decoded the messages that were going back and forth between all the computers in the car and figured out what it was that he had to do. And I think, Ryan from Cyvex wrote some custom code to make it happen.
Yeah.
So
I think there's still a little information missing somewhere. I don't know. This is all above my head.
Yeah, I haven't heard
But
from Wayne about it, so I don't know the exact details either. But I mean, we've seen it happen. So
yeah, so this is big for me. This is really big.
see, we always thought when we were building the car, when I say we, as in Taylor, that he was going to be having a large advantage over Todd and I because the PDK transmission, when it's going down the track, it never even closes the throttle, right? The transmission is in, let's say it's in 1st gear on the 1st shaft. The 2nd shaft is already in 2nd gear. So all it does is, you go wide open throttle, you go through 1st gear, and then it disengages one clutch while it engages the other one and leaves the throttle open, and boom, you're in 2nd gear. And then while you're going through 2nd gear, the 1st shaft shifts to 3rd, and then it does it again, and it transitions the clutches back in the other direction. And so you're literally on the power the whole time. You get the advantages of a automatic torque converter transmission and a manual transmission all in one. They're great, but the way Taylor's was shifting before, he wasn't getting that advantage out of the shifts.
I was getting the worst of both worlds.
Yes.
So no, I'm excited. So we'll see. I've got to think that this translates into something.
I think it's 4 or 5 miles an hour myself.
I think this translates into you finally realistically, reliably running over 200 now. I think that's what that means.
Yeah, hopefully. So we'll see. So that's my good news since our last episode drop.
Well, I have received my 3rd set of turbos. Hey, I'm on the Turbo of the Week club, by the way.
Okay.
And the latest and greatest have, So, so we are now Monday, I guess. We're going to attempt to install the new Zona turbos and see what happens.
3rd time's a charm.
Yep.
So do you still have your engine, Todd?
Yeah, of course. We still have the engine. So as soon as Steve gets the turbos mounted and knows that everything fits, then we're going to send it back to John.
So I need to get mine through John before yours shows up.
I don't know where he is on yours, but mine's about to drop on his. I would say he'll probably have it before the middle of April at this point. So
well, we've got to make Streetcar Takeover, and when is that? That's in May.
That's end of April.
That's
27th-ish, I want to say.
We're going.
Did you tell John you're going to Streetcar Takeover?
I need that monkey meme. You know the meme where he side eyes.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
We're going to Streetcar Takeover.
Yes. Yeah, I might have messed up though because I told him it was early May. I needed it for Streetcar Takeover, or maybe I said April. I don't even know.
What did he say when you told him that?
I've been across several states in the last few days and sleeping very little, so who knows what I might say.
What did he say?
Yeah, I'd like to hear.
Oh, he texted me back and said, "Okay." that was all I got. So hey, I'll take it.
Oh, Yeah,
But,
so let's get yours back here, and then realistically, it'd be great to have mine back by mid-May at the latest, and give me like 3 weeks to play with it. But what do you think? I mean, it's not that big of a deal, right? I mean,
I don't say those words anymore.
I mean, he only has to take the entire engine apart. Every nut, bolt, and screw comes out of it, so nothing could possibly go wrong.
It's just a little thing. It's just...
As I'm fond of saying, everything will be fine as long as nothing goes wrong.
Modding cars is great.
I have incredibly exciting news.
Oh yeah?
Okay.
I got my new airbag.
Okay.
And I know this isn't exciting at first glance, but when you look at it closer, there's an old forum post about my car on 6speed Online, and it's been there so long that it actually is one of the most viewed threads ever on the site.
It's also been there so long that not a lot of it's relevant to your current build anymore.
Yeah, I stopped updating it a while ago. But what always annoyed me more than anything else is that no matter what you do, you can have a car that makes 5,000 horsepower, but if you post a thread about a steering wheel swap, oh my goodness, that is just the steering wheel upgrade is a really big deal because it's your tactile interface to the car. It's the biggest upgrade you can make.
What tires should I put on, or what oil should I use?
Oh, they can talk about oil they're still talking about oil from 5 years ago.
All right, what's the name of the thread? Do you remember?
The one about the steering wheel?
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't know. All you got to do is go to the 997 turbo section and sort by number of views, and it's like right there at the top.
Oh, okay.
Right above mine. And so I got this because my car has that triangular airbag. And after TX2K, when we were looking at the AIM car, the blue one that makes a gazillion horsepower and was very, very fast, it has that same dash module as mine does, the Motec C127. And it is a little bit problematic in the sense that the way that it mounts, you can't see the entire screen and or the shift function lights at the top of it, which are kind of a bummer. You put this nice screen in the car and then you can't really see the whole thing.
But what part, because like the edge of the steering wheel's blocking it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So my car has like that extra thick leather wrapped steering wheel in it, and it's really quite nice. But what I wanted to do was to swap it to a GT2 RS steering wheel. And, I refused just on general principle to ever do a steering wheel swap because of the ridiculousness from those threads online about it. But now I actually kind of need to swap the wheel, and I don't want to go to like, an Elon Musk, bat handle kind of thing. So I thought, oh, well, I have the GT2 RS shifter in the car. Or shift boot cover, and I'll just do a steering wheel too. Great. So, go to good old suncoast.com and try to order it, and it's $2,795 for the wheel. And no, I'm not into that. So I got the airbag separately, and I was going to buy a standard wheel that at least the paint on the rim section of it matches, and then send it off, have it recovered. There's companies that do it, and it's indistinguishable. So it's the OEM wheel with the red Alcantara wrap on it. So poor man's steering wheel upgrade. But the idea is actually to be able to see the screen. And I was so excited about it when I saw Joe's. I was like, oh look, Joe has one that you can actually see. And I took pictures of Joe's mount being all jealous, and I was going to ask him about it. And then like 3 days after TX2K, Joe texted me and said, hey, can you send me pictures of your mount? And I was like, oh no, I think we have mount envy going both directions because neither of ours is really working.
Hey, it's the little wins, man. We're just having little wins all over the place.
Yep. And I ordered fuel pumps for my car. I was having trouble with the Silly Rabbit fuel basket. It wasn't filling. And so as I was going down the track, like after I started making more and more power this season, or last season really, it was emptying the basket in like 4th, 5th gear, and I was running out of fuel. And I could never figure out a good way to do it. So I think I'm just going to do what we're doing in everybody else's car, because my car actually only had one fuel pump. It had one single brushless pump with an injector dynamics controller running it, and it was driving the jet, like the mechanical jet pumps in the tank to fill the basket, and then I called it one pump to rule them all. But what we're going to do is take the Silly Rabbit basket out. Looks like that setup is only good for about 1350-ish horsepower and on ethanol, and put a stock, twin pump setup in it and feed a surge tank with that brushless. So I shouldn't have, the only way I was able to get my car to go down the track near the end of this season was to have the tank so full that the fuel level in the tank was above the basket.
I remember helping with that.
Yeah, it was awful. My hands were so bad.
Well, it seems like we had to do it with like some kind of jury-rigged setup, right? Like we didn't have the right tools, and it was like we were doing it all with crescent wrenches or some subpar way. We needed Steve. We cried for Steve a lot that day.
Yes, that was the time I wish there was a Steve in my life for sure.
It also made me buy a toolkit when I got home that I can take to the track.
Yep, I upgraded my tools after that too, and then haven't used them since. But
speaking of builds, didn't you find a couple that are already done out there, Todd?
Yes. A friend of mine named Tom has a 996 turbo that he and I go way back. He's from New York. He would come down with his other buddy, Joe, who also had a 996 turbo, and we would compete at TI. And this car was built by EVOMs initially, and they were on stock ECUs forever. And then they went to Pro EFI. This was where, before Cyvex was a thing for the Porsches, And so, long story short, it ended up at AIM for an upgrade with, a Cyvex and some turbos, and he recently received it, and he doesn't know if he's going to keep it. So it's a sweet car. I think it's 17,000 mile car. Yeah, AIM made 1,224 horsepower on it, so it's dialed, it's sorted, and let's see if I can pull up some pictures.
Do we know what kind of turbos it has?
Precision turbos.
Do you remember the 1320 video where Giddy was racing and they turned his boost up a little bit too high and he shot the turbine wheels out the exhaust and almost hit the 1320 video guy?
Yeah. Was that precision turbo?
Yeah.
I mean, I've shot turbine wheels out the back before.
Zonas.
Yeah.
Yep. As Robert is fond of saying, I can't beat physics, man. You can break them.
That guy.
But that does mean that it doesn't mean that I don't enjoy ribbing them every now and then.
Yeah,
of course, we never did find your turbine wheel.
No, it's in Indy somewhere. Let me know if you guys see it when you go.
Anyway,
I still think you're going.
I mean, I don't have a crystal ball, but at this point, I would say it's probably better to not plan on me.
I mean, what if we found a way to haul 2 cars in one trailer and we took your car up there and you flew?
Crickets.
I hadn't thought of that, but
okay. So what day is the birthday?
August 11th.
And that's what the middle day of shift is. That's a Saturday.
You know what? I don't know, because I pretty much just writ the whole thing. I wrote it all off, so I didn't really keep it to memory. We'll see. I mean, the 11th is Friday.
Yeah.
Which is what? Is that the first day?
Yeah.
Of racing?
Would it be Friday, Saturday, Sunday? I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But it's funny that you mentioned. I've seen a lot of pretty nice 996s for sale lately. I even spent some time trying to find my old one, but I can't find it. I don't know what happened to it. But there's one locally that's built. Did you post up pictures of that one?
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, okay.
So, beautiful black interior, OEM GT2 carbon seats. Yeah, it's a pretty car. I mean, it's in great shape. Obviously, it hasn't been driven in like 3 years. So,
are those some fixie wheels?
I don't know, CCX or something.
14,000 miles.
14,000 miles. Wow.
Yeah, somebody needs to drive that thing.
Yeah, and he just put
a big Y pipe.
Yeah, literally put 50,000 into it just recently. It's a fast car.
And this is Joe?
No, this is Thomas car.
This is Tom.
It's got the EVOMS logo on that steering wheel.
Yes, Evolution Motorsports.
And
And that's where John Bray came from originally.
Yeah, John built this car way back in the day, probably 14 or 15. So those are the maps. Wayne, no, not Wayne. Shoot, this is an Emery car, but so this is an Emery tuned Cyvex car.
6 maps, wow.
Mm-hmm.
All the power.
I think 12 on 34 psi. I made 1224. So yeah,
it also has the AIM sticker feature.
Oh, it sure does.
That adds value to a car right there. So
Man, I still have a special place in my heart for the 996s.
I'd like to have if I just had 120 grand laying around, I'd offer just to have another one. That's probably
it's not going to be very long. We're not going to be able to get them at all.
Hey, put up that other 996 that I saw. That's a nice car.
There was somebody online asking what was available.
Yeah, I saw that, but you know how many people do that, and they're just not. I don't think people are prepared to really buy a 12 or 1400 horsepower Porsche.
It's not for the faint of heart.
There's a shop here. It's locally. It's in Dallas. Well, just outside of Dallas. Art of Assembly is the guy that's got it listed, and I think he did a lot of the build. But it's an Evo spec motor.
Can you guys see that?
The headlights are somewhat controversial, but that kind of goes along with the 996 territory anyway. But I noticed he's got a radium surge tank. He's running Zonas 7169s.
What's this right here?
That's just an amp. It has like a full. I think it's a JL audio sound system.
This looks an awful lot like the other car.
Yeah, he's got the GT2 bumper. It's got Sparco SPX seats.
Those are the same seats that are in my car. I love those seats.
Really?
It seems like it's a pretty well built deal. I think what did it say it made? It's got 650 to 1300 wheel horsepower. Cyvex. It does have a lot more miles than the other one though. It's 75,000 miles.
Right, and he wants 118.
Yeah, and I think it was a little higher when he first started out, like maybe 125, 120, something like that.
Who put the car together?
I think it's Art of Assembly. It's a guy. His name's Roman.
Okay.
Yeah, Roman.
I know. He knows Wayne. I think they've done some Cyvex work together. It has a digital dash, flex fuel. It's got Bill Raider transmission, wave track diff. It's like a complete build.
Yeah.
I noticed since we've all been talking about intake manifolds a lot, it does have a GT3 manifold.
Oh, and any motor picks?
I don't think it had any.
Just that Y pipe over here.
Yeah, that's a good deal too.
Goodness gracious. $118,000. It's a lot of money. But if you were to buy this car and then try to get it to where it is now, it would cost significantly more to do so.
Well, just buying a 996 turbo with 75,000 miles on it, you're starting at what, 60 today?
Is it really that high? I would have said like 40 or 50, but I don't know.
No, it's way past 40 or 50 now. I don't. Somebody else told me they had one for sale. I think they wanted 43 for it. I want to say it's got 95, 100,000 miles on it.
This is going to happen, guys. It's not far off where all of a sudden these cars, when we were kids and like our parents' classic cars got super expensive and we looked at them and said, at least I did, I looked at them and said, I can't believe, $100,000 for that car. And if you put in inflation over 30 years, these are going to be $300,000, $400,000 cars, some of them.
I know, it's wild. Makes me feel old.
Or more, I don't know. The 997 in particular is probably going to be one of the most valuable ones. And the 996 will be right there with it. I think 996s have actually grown on me since the 992s have come out, which the 992s are great cars, but they're starting to get so far away from
what they were,
what they used to be.
Right. I agree with you on that. The 996s are kind of growing back on me. I've had two of them, and I'd love to have another one for sure. It's a good car.
Yeah, I loved mine, man. I'm still sad I had to get rid of it, but
progress.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
Progress.
Thank you for listening to So You Think Your Car is Fast. Please subscribe and leave us a review. We also want to thank Redenzo Radar. Visit redenzo.com/BHT. We also want to thank Evo Spec and Forced Performance.